Good morning on day 9. As you can see, the weather is a little bit overcast. Hopefully it's not going to rain, but there is a possibility of something today. Climb out of Llanberis is kind of the first order of the day, and it's kind of up a nice tarmac road, although it's reasonably steep, not too steep, but it's just enough to get you started first part of the morning, and then we'll progress on to more tracks past the quarries, and then kind of into kind of a warren of fields and lanes down into the village of Waunfawr afterwards. That's one of the steam trains. Oh yes, it's just coming into view now. Let me see if I can zoom into it. I was kind of looking back towards day 8. The track is good going and offers some great views back into Llanberis. Well, that degraded faster than I thought it would. Can't see out of my glasses. It's kind of this light rain that's just blowing in because there's a bit of a breeze up here. It's a little bit earlier than I thought. I thought the rain would come and it would come later on this afternoon, but obviously the first showers arrived early. It may be raining. There's still some great views back down to Llyn Peninsula below. The track peaks at about 1,300 feet next to a whole series of quarries. There's a glimpse in the distance of the next stage of the walk as the path now changed to tarmac. You get some great views of this next valley that we're going to cross. The path then takes a sharp left and is now going to weave its way round the valley all the way down into Waunfawr in the bottom. Old style enclosure fields, but I'm just noticing what I was looking across at now is kind of looking up at now, so as I kind of head into the bottom of the valley, the realisation I've got to go all the way back up there again. As the trail reaches the village, it starts to change and you find yourself walking down a whole series of tracks, little alleyways and trails weaving their way through the houses all the way down to the bottom of the village. Heading up into those trees and out that way afterwards. You arrive right at the bottom of the village, onto the bridge, so reach the valley bottom, and there's a lovely stream. Passing over the narrow gauge railway, the road now turns right. Second climb of the day. I've decided to forgo the jacket, and although I think I'm looking a bit scruffy at the moment, my hood being on for quite a while with the rain, but as there's a nice climb now, I think it's best to try and stay as cool as possible, and if it rains again, put the jacket back on. It's not far along the road that you find this left turn, and that's your cue for a nice climb up through the trees. Llanberis is over the back of there and down into the next valley. It certainly has a good steep section. It's so steep you've got a ladder to get you up to the next level. There are some good places to stop and look at the views. First, back across the valley we've come across, but as you get higher you get to see Anglesey and Waunfawr. The route essentially is taking you up over 1,000 feet, the second climb of the day. Newborough and Llangernyw Island come into view as the trail has now started to level off. It's working its way across the top, and you get a look back down to Carnarvon and Carnarvon Castle if you've got some binoculars. There's this interesting little garden where you turn left, which is full of little LED lights. Got a view of Snowdon Summit there. And Mount Snowdon, the Snowdon Summit's the one kind of right in the centre, slightly further away than the peak on the left. Kind of moorland mountain trail now, which will keep me going for a little while. I was hoping to find somewhere to sit down and eat, but we'll see. Hopefully there's a lone boulder up here somewhere and I can stop and have some lunch. That'd be nice, preferably with an excellent view as well, so bonus. There were some mines on the far hills. Unfortunately there's some spits of rain now, so it might be a sign that The rain that was predicted is about to come in. Fortunately, I didn't find a boulder to sit on. I actually found a huge boulder to shelter behind. It's actually a change in direction in the path now. I'm kind of heading over that way now. Plenty of markers on this section of the trail. As you're walking along the trail, the next range of mountains comes into view. It has a particular path called the Nantlle Ridge, which runs all the way along the tops of them and down into Nantlle itself. There's a whole set of quarries that we've been actually walking round, but now we start to move across them. The descent is next, and Fron quarry is one of the first things you come across. It's now flooded, but was popular with divers. The path can be seen disappearing into the distance, so you have to now make your way down it. The whole of the Nantlle Ridge is now in view, and it's something I spent quite a bit of time doing as I was walking this section. Getting views of more quarry workings actually. There's a whole series of them down here. Well, it's brightened up a little bit now. Hopefully the rain will stay off. It's been good progress over the top there. Another little view of that quarry actually. It's quite interesting how things come into view and disappear from view as you kind of move a few hundred metres along, a mile, whatever. Still more quarries here. The whole industry of this area was obviously slate quarries, slate mines. A look towards day 10, which comes into view as you start to round the corner. Oh, an old BT telephone box. The descent now steepens and the views of the mountains seems to improve, but there's also views of Dorothea Quarry below. Just seen Snowdon has actually popped out the other side of that mountain it disappeared behind some hours ago. The town of Talysarn can be seen below, and you now make your way down a whole series of quarryman paths to the bottom. There's one last chance to look back at the mountains as you're going to reach the village of Talysarn and then head the other way. There's a short section of tarmac before you turn right into the woods and follow what seems to be a river at first, but actually I think it's actually some kind of transport canal or drainage canal for the quarries, as it seems a bit linear. A disused narrow gauge railway line was next. It was only short but did offer some great views across the valley. A disused section of road leads you to Penygroes, but there's a vineyard at the end of it, which is quite rare for the UK. Lovely house there with a couple of contrasting different slates. It's only a short walk into Penygroes now. Well, that's it for day 9. Reached Penygroes, and it's been a good day kind of wandering around the foothills of Snowdonia, and there's been a little bit of changeable weather, overcast, rain, sunshine, back to overcast again, and it's just added to the day really rather than detracted from it. So yes, well pleased, well worth it, excellent views. Till next time.